And here the international aspect is interestingly sung, it seems, in a song by Marine Le Pen. And this song was clearly not the Marseillaise, but that very birch tree by Zaznova. And in the political landscape of modern times, the girl Marine will certainly be missed. She will be missed, just as Harpy number 4 would be missed on the famous painting by Bosch, The Temptation of Saint Anthony. Well, however, this loss can easily be endured. Today, in Paris, a Parisian court sentenced Marine to 4 years of imprisonment, but it's done cleverly. There are 2 years of house arrest, 2 years suspended with an ankle bracelet. But that's not what's important. What's important is that he clipped her electoral wings. Perhaps maybe I'm not insisting the style of the clipping was not very proper, but frankly speaking, there was no need to be so blatant and open for so long. And to munch like that, eating something from Putin's palms. In Europe, it must be said, there are currently enough Kremlin-fed figures like Fico and Arbat to complete the picture. They were once allowed into the European garden, and now these two goats are messing it up, trampling everything and acting without limits. And Marine Le Pen is undoubtedly of the same blood and the same ilk as them. So in general, it's probably good that she won't be there. I think that all of the Kremlin's friends across all continents share a specific mental makeup. And the question even becomes, well, for me at least, somewhat troubling. How do people with such blatant stupidity still manage to climb into presidential and prime ministerial positions? Today, the mass media and the internet are filled with Fico's lamentations. Gathering the press, Fico, at length and in detail, with tears in his eyes, as you can see in the video, complained about the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who called him an idiot and scolded him for a long time. Fico recounts the conversation with temperament, while even his personal bodyguards chuckle. Well, this sad intellectual level, the level of development of an elderly Slovak fool, is in general no secret to anyone. However, it must be said that his activity as prime minister is the first and extremely successful example of occupational therapy. But in general, his, let's say, developmental issues remained little secrets of the European Union for a long time, and it was not customary to speak about them openly. But today, these veils of mercy were somehow torn off by Fico himself, who never understood why the beautiful and angry Ursula called him an idiot. And indeed, it's not entirely clear, but it's all very funny. Truly funny, because the conversation was private. It should have been kept quiet, but Fico went ahead and made this coming out. And it was all so pitiful that you wanted to give him a hurdy-gurdy, an old bald monkey in a Panama hat that could, in rhythm, be trained to wipe away tears to a sad song. Of course, Fico's place is somewhere there by the Roland Fountain or on the Danube embankment. During the tourist season, it would have brought him much more than he earned over all those years in the Kremlin. Well, now he's been appointed as the prime minister. Therapy through hard work, you see. But by the evening, Fico, realizing the tidal wave of mockery, announced that his statement about being an idiot was just another joke by an idiot, which was not understood by the callous and heartless journalists. And it must be said that This is exactly the case when apologies and explanations serve as a personal, unnecessary, additional proof of the character's troubled state. Le Pen, yes, there they are now talking about drama. And torment, well, why torment? Because the court process recognized not only the theft of those millions of euros, but also the astonishing stupidity with which the regular embezzlements were carried out. A criminal level. Both Marine and her accomplices were a disgrace to France. After all, France, among other things, is also a country of magnificent, famous, brilliant thieves whose deeds are witty, daring, and sometimes quite intellectual. One Louis-Dominique Bourguignon, you know him as Cartouche. What does it cost, right? Just look at his appearance before joining the police. Villon, Spaghetti, right? Well, these are true virtuosos. The thefts they committed secured France top places on the pedestal of global thievery. And then there's Le Pen, you see, with her blunt embezzlement, she got 4 years. Like, I've already said that. And they stole just a little set million from the European Parliament's budget. But the disgrace is in how they stole it. They stole it simply through dead souls, recording the deadness of these souls in their own documents. Even State Duma deputies don't steal like that anymore. They are embarrassed to steal so primitively and vaguely. They choose and develop livelier schemes. But indeed, we're talking about 7 million. No one knows how much for love, for loyalty, for calls not to give weapons to the Ukrainian armed forces, for the recognition of Crimea, for the recognition of Putin's term reset, for proclaiming the Kremlin ghoul. The girl Le Pen received it as the guardian of Christian values. And all of this is on her account. That is, it's clear that such a series of political suicides is not a cheap pleasure, both for the clients and for the interested parties, so to speak. But it's clear that Moscow fees were not even considered in court. The material that was gathered was quite sufficient.